Right. So I'm here this evening to talk to you about safe water. There are lots of really important issues in development, but none of which I think is as important as water. Safe water really is the first building block in development for to develop a healthy society and economy. So let me tell you about my story briefly, pretty quickly. It was sort of 17 years ago. I first went to India. It was a massive culture shock for me, but the biggest shock of all was the fact that I wasn't a very good teacher. And the hardest thing actually was that there weren't many children, and the class just kept changing, and it just made it really, really hard to teach, and obviously hard for the children to learn as well. I discovered that the vast majority of the time, the reason the children couldn't come to school was because it was something related to dirty drinking water. And to share my journey this evening, I have mixed up 3 delicious cocktails here. And at the end I might ask 3 of you to come and choose which one you'd like to drink. We'll find out whether any of them are safe later. But after my own experience, I was really compelled to do something about this, although it took me 10 years to work out sort of what to do. It did become obvious quite quickly that safe water solutions are really complex. Development's complex, but specifically safe water. So I decided to raise my own funds and invest in really carefully chosen community safe water projects using local implementing partners in country. So Frank Water was born in 2005 and actually still to this day has 2 income streams. So we have a social enterprise arm that retails locally sourced bottled water, and we also run various schemes up and down the country to encourage behaviour change and choice in how you choose to consume water, so encouraging people to be more environmentally minded. Whilst our charity raises funds in all the normal ways that you can imagine, corporate sponsorship, generous philanthropists and individuals. So within a year, on our shoestring budget startup, we'd actually funded our first project in India. And by year 5, we'd funded about 60, and now we've funded over 200. But there really is a lot more work to be done. And however creative you are with your accounting, the statistics are really bad. So 4,000 children every day die from water-related illness. And no disrespect to any Russians in the room, but this just kind of helps you to imagine that. It's equivalent to 18 metro jets crashing every day full of children, just children. Pretty shocking. So you may think of India as having one of the fastest growing economies, but 1/3 of the world's poor live in India. And it's almost twice as much malnutrition in India than the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. The governments and philanthropists within India are doing their bit, but it is a massive country with a massive population. And to be honest, it's always the people, the poorest and the hardest to reach communities that are going to get forgotten. So the community I'd like you to help us fund this evening live in the tribal region of Dar in Madhya Pradesh. They live with dirty water, and every day many of them are actually being poisoned in this area, and in a growing number of areas in India and around the world. Fluoride is endemic in the groundwater, so it's a chemical. So fluoride actually has no colour, no taste, and no smell. And many of the water sources have up to 4 times the World Health Organization recommended levels. It's an invisible killer, poisoning children in the womb as well as the elderly, at any time. This is an example of dental fluorosis. Eventually the teeth fall out. And this is an example of skeletal fluorosis. It attacks the calcium in the bones. So on top of this, most of their water sources are open wells with no protection from biological contamination. So they're also suffering from all the usual water-related illnesses of diarrhea, typhoid, and everything else you can imagine. It's an example of one of the open wells. So we've already had some brilliant results with we've already done projects in 3 other villages nearby this one. And one of them, Kalapani, is a really good example to talk you through. It's home to 825 tribal people. Work starts really slowly in these communities because they don't know it's the water that's making the meal. So through urine testing and teeth examinations, we can plot where all the bad water is, and make sure that they're drinking from safe sources. But meet Rashami. She's 32, and she has 4 children, and all her children have been drinking from this poison source of water. You know, she says, we used to see our children's teeth discolour and their bones bend, but we never suspected that it would be the water. So we've helped Rashami and her community to develop their own operations and maintenance plans, monthly contributions, and sharing of the groundwater. And this is Uday. Uday is a local subsistence farmer, and it turned out that he had the safest well in the village. And after a lot of discussions, he agreed to share his water with the community. So we protected that well and then fed it to 3 tanks around the village. I really love his quote.
Say the quote.
Say the quote, okay. He says, "I cannot express my happiness today, knowing that the entire village is going to use my well. It gives me a very blissful feeling. This is the best act of my life, and it's going to save a lot of lives."